Testing, testing, 1 2 1 2, testing 1 2. In the place to be. Hi, everybody. This is Carrie Mubarak at wooingnature.life, and this is all about you, Aquarius. So what's happening is we are getting ready to head right into November, December. We're moving into winter. We are moving out of 2020. Hallelujah. Everybody knows how crazy that was and continues to be, but we're not going to get into that. What we're going to do is remain focused. What we're going to do is stay the course. We have to stay the course regardless of what it is that we see on the outside of ourselves that looks like a chaotic, hot mess. So Aquarius and others, we are counting on you. We are counting on you for your ability to stretch and get outside of the box. We're counting on you for giving us a different angle, a different bent on whatever it might be. And we know that you know how to do that well. One of the great things about Aquarians is that they don't tie themselves down to any one thing. And so what's great about that is that you can show us a different angle. And so we appreciate you, we need you, and we're glad you're on board. So today I am going to be reading from 3 decks. I'll be reading from Sacred Rebels. I will also be reading from the Animal Spirit Tarot, and that is Collect, Bear, and Read. And then I will do your tarot reading from the Zillich Tarot. Beautiful deck. Watercolor is the feature. Christine Zillich is the artist. And if you want to see more about that deck, you can check out my Art of the Deck. And that is the flip through review from Wooing Nature with the art and the artist in mind, because we don't like to ignore our artists. All right, so I'm going to grab decks and I will be right back, and then we'll get started with November. All right, I am back with Sacred Rebels. This is one of my tried and true decks. This is, I've worked with this one for quite a while now, and it has never failed to give me a good message or a good reading. So shout out to Alana Fairchild on this one. And we're looking for Aquarius, month of November. Just a word, just something to get us started, something for Aquarians to feed themselves with, their spirits with. There we go. All right. New birth, guarded vigilantly. New birth, guarded vigilantly. So it looks like you've been growing some things. It looks like you've been growing some you, Aquarius, is what it looks like to me. You've got some pearls of wisdom here. You've got some transformation happening right here. Looks like it's still taking place. Like you're almost through it, but not quite. It's almost behind you is what it looks like. And so again, what I said is about staying focused. So now what you're focusing on is what is growing around you. What's growing? What did you put energy into that grew? Not what did I put energy into and it didn't do a doggone thing, because now you're focusing back there. And that's what I mean by that transformation is still happening for you. Aquarius. So if you are having that moment where it seems like, well, I thought I was, ready to roll, but all of a sudden it doesn't seem like it anymore, that's because you're focusing back here somewhere, or you were just a few minutes ago, or you were a week ago, or something like that. Because remember, your mind is creating. Your mind is creating. So if you start drifting back to what went wrong and what didn't do and all that, what didn't work out and all of that kind of thing, then that's where that energy is going to go. And that's what's going to arise for you. Everything you want is right in front of you. Honest to God, it is. The thing of it is what you see. You can be looking right past the obvious into something else. All right, so this is the number 24. 24 breaks down to a 6. For those of you who are into your numerology, you'll know where to go and look for that and find that, and you can educate yourself even further. Badoop, badoop. All right. All right, so let's see what Alana has to say, or the channeled beings through Alana have to say. In every creative process, in every birth, in every opening of a new cycle of life, there's a time of vulnerability. This vulnerability is natural and appropriate. It is a foal learning to become steady on its legs. Boy, did I see a lot of that this summer with the deer. Those legs will become remarkably powerful in time, but the process of growth and maturity has to take place, and that requires some wobbly first attempts. It can't be any other way. That's just how it is. We have to crawl before we can walk. We have to wobble before we get steady. So we're in the wobble period, and I'm going to say the wobble period is courtesy of Saturn and Capricorn right now going direct. So if you're feeling like you're wobbling a little bit, that's the reason why. But it's okay because, you got to wobble with it. You got to work with it. Within you, perhaps even below the level of your conscious awareness, there is a fresh new life emerging like a vibrant green shoot rising up from the earth. This new life is in need of your attention and your care. This could be a new relationship that needs tending with interest and kindness. It could be a new idea that you need to nurture into fullness because it's going to hold special purpose for you in your life, for your life path. It might be something within you, a new behavior, a new way of looking at yourself, or a new way of being in the world that you need to tend to until it becomes more natural for you to embody. And that's true because right now we are all going through a massive transition. I don't know if I'm sure people are aware because globally, and I was speaking with a friend of mine a couple of weeks ago about this, and she said it hit her that this is the world. I was like, yes, COVID-19 affected everyone in the entire world. And so when you start thinking about symbolism, what is the symbolism? We can argue about where COVID came from and who's responsible and all that. We can get into all of that, but I'm not. What I'm saying to you is when you look at the symbolism of the event, when else have we had all the people of the earth convened and focused on one thing at one time, be it something negative or positive, however you want to see it. And so this massive transition, it's almost like an earthquake. It's almost like a spiritual earthquake. Things are getting shook up. People were getting shook up. Situations are being shook up. The way we see things is shook up. See, that's why Aquarius is so needed because, you guys have a knack for being able to, see through the muck. You all have the ability to say, okay, so here we have it, but what lies on the other side? Because this can't be it. You're always asking that question, and why, or and what else? Okay, so I see this, but what else? That's the way the Aquarian mind tends to work. Let's see. This is just something, this is additional information if you drew another card. I'm not drawing another card. I'm only drawing one, so we'll cut to Q here. It says this oracle also brings particular guidance about keeping your inner sanctuary pure. However you perceive that. For some of you, it will be about maintaining a particular type of diet. For some of you, it's going to be about thought processes, making sure your thoughts are pure. For some of you, it's going to be about making sure that your thoughts and your speech and your actions are in alignment. When we're talking about purity, we're talking about truth, and we're talking about an understanding of yourself and a projection of yourself and acting as your true self in every situation. And it requires a very fine-tuned alignment. So if you imagine when you go and you take your car and they align your wheels, or you get an alignment, Or if you get the full diagnostic and everything comes out, everything's working impeccably, everything is synced up, then you're good. That's what you want to get to within. All right, this may be your room, a sacred place to visit, just as what they're saying, your own body in which to retreat in relaxation or meditation. Sometimes you will find that others have taken up residence in your sanctuary. Oh, I told y'all, Alana brings it. She brings it. She brings it through. Some people have taken up residency in your sanctuary. Perhaps an argument that you can't let go of has another living in your head. A suffering that has not been acknowledged and released can feel like a big old dirty suitcase of emotional baggage cluttering up the temple space of your heart. It's time to focus on the purity, light, love, and compassion that dwells within you. Everything else will come and go, and that is just fine. But the purity within your sanctuary is eternal. You can come back to refresh your spirit and gain resources to help you deal with the rest of the world and even your own darker moments. It will give you peace and spaciousness of mind. It will give you the peace and spaciousness of mind that you need to recognize the new life and to compassionately but firmly denounce any intrusion upon that life by doubt, fear, or sabotage. Oh, that's a blessing. That's a blessing. Now, if that's not new birth, I don't know what is. All right, Aquarius, you guys are off to a fantastic start. I'm going to leave that card out because I feel like there was some tidbits that everybody can use that I can put on the Facebook channel and the Instagram and Twitter. So, yeah, those were some nuggets, Aquarius. We appreciate that. See, when you heal others, when you are the impetus for healing, then it heals you, and then the healing gets to get spread all over. You know what I'm saying? Some of that stuff is not just for Aquarians. Some of that stuff is for a lot of people. Need to hear that, especially about people taking up space in your daggum sanctuary. I needed that. All right, so we're looking at who's coming towards you, Aquarius. Who's coming towards you right now? We're looking at who's coming toward Aquarius, but we're looking at them in animal form. How do you like that? People are animals, trust me. I told my niece, animals are great people. They're wonderful people to be around. So now we're going to see what kind of people are coming towards you and what kind of spirits that they're coming in with. All right, so you're going to be paying attention in November to your chameleon spirits. The chameleon spirits are the people who can switch and change at the drop of a dime. If they're in one environment, they're one way. If they're in another environment, they're another way. You don't know, when they're going to switch up on you, okay? And I love this statement at the bottom. It says, act as if. Oh, God, as if. Act as if. I don't know. That sounds like some fake it to make it to me. I don't endorse. But I will say this about a chameleon. They're certainly colorful people. You never know what you're going to get. Okay. All right. We've got some bobcat spirits coming in. Bobcat spirits are climbers. These are people who stay high in the mountains. I got to double check on that bobcat information, but you check on it too. Because the main thing is that when a spirit animal comes to you, you need to understand how that animal moves, what it does, its instincts, its behavior. Can it see in the dark? Is it fast? Is it a fast-moving animal? Is it a climbing animal? Certainly, right off the bat, we know that the bobcat is a feline. Felines are independent. Felines are self-sufficient, feminine. They are associated with the feminine. And by the feminine, what we mean is it's not an active force. It's a passive force, okay? It uses passive energy. So you're thinking about being not on the, I'm also thinking about offensive and defensive, being on the offensive versus being on the defensive, if you know what I mean. But the main thing is when you're dealing with feline energy, then feline energy is more passive. It moves quietly, right? Not everything all out. So anyway, bobcat, read up on the bobcat. Go to your Google and look up the bobcat and find out as much as you can about the bobcat, and then start looking out for bobcat people. That's the way we work it. The bobcat people are coming in with the number 8. Chameleon spirits are coming in with the number 5. 1 and 4, 14 breaks down into a 5. 5's about change. They're also about chaos. These chameleons, they coming with a little rah-rah for you, okay? Okay, just a little bit, looks like. Bobcat spirits are coming to help you build. That's the number 8. So, for those of you who are dealing with the bobcats, they're coming to build. They're coming to help you build. So these people probably know territory. They know how to climb. Remember I said that. And so you'll find them in higher places than where you are. So think about what that means for you. Again, this is all symbolism, folks. It's using symbolism within nature to help you understand how to navigate what's happening in the flesh. That's what it's all about. All right, so I have been pulling 3 cards for everybody. So 3 sets of people, but you had 2 more to come out. So I will be obedient unto the spirit. We've got some turtle spirits. Now these people, they're very methodical. They're very, they're slow and they're methodical, just like a tortoise, right? They understand the need for patience. They are usually quite patient, but they can also be very slow moving. These people, I think, are gonna, these are the folks that you're gonna be working with, because see, this is 6-2 breaks down to an 8, and this is already an 8. So these are people that you're going to be working with, Aquarius. Turtle people are also earth people, so it could be an earth sign person. And earth signs are Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus. So it could be that. But they're people who are slow and methodical, and they're going to get there, but you've just got to wait. And then we have some porcupine spirits. Now, porcupine spirits are interesting because they can be quite hairy and they can be a little bit prickly, but they're really deep down very soft, kind of gentle animals. Now, if you come up on them wrong, then they're going to shoot that quill at you. But it's their defense mechanism. So, that's the deal there. Again, like I said, look up these animals. Look up these animals. Pay attention to their habitat, the way they move, whatever. And then it will help you understand. The other thing you want to pay attention to in some situations is what the animals, what's their predator like, and then are they predators or are they prey animals? That's another thing that you want to think about too, because that also means something symbolically in the spirit. We can get into that a little bit later. All right, so those are your folks. Those are the people you're on the lookout for. If you want to do a deeper dive and find out how to deal with them, you know where to find me. But we're going to move right along into the Zillich Tarot. All right, so this is Zillich. Like I said, this is on Art of the Deck. So if you want to see each one of these cards, if you're one of these card people like I am that collects them or whatever, then go check out my Art of the Deck. And I did a review on this one because it's a beautiful deck. It's a beautiful deck. It's watercolor. Christine Zillich is the artist. And the water energy in these cards just really takes you to the spirit. It really does. Anything water take you to the spirit. Fire too, but that water energy, it'll take you to some places sometimes. All right, Aquarius, let me see one more time because I gotta Got to mix it up a little bit here. Too heavy wire, because I'm in a confined area at this time. My cards like to fly. Alrighty, let's see what's going on here, Aquarius, in the month of November. This is for the detail spirits. Thank you for being here. Thank you for guiding this reading. Thank you for giving me your energy. Thank you for protecting me and protecting my space so that I can see, hear, feel, sense, taste, touch, and body. All right. Here we go, Aquarius. Details for the month of November. There you go. All right. There's some work to do. I told you those people were coming something about work. Y'all are building. So you got work to do in the month of November. Here you are right here, getting you pushing yourself something of significance. I think this is an idea. This is an idea or a concept that you are pushing up the hill. And I've got lots of ladders and I've got lots of railroad tracks. So if you know about a legba, a legba, Papa Legba, then you might want to do some things around that to prepare the way for your idea to come through. So there may be some things that you need to receive from spirit about the idea. So that's why you got to open up your channels in both directions. So when you go and you pray and you ask for what it is that you need assistance with, those doors can be open for you, and so that you can see them. So you got to be specific about your prayers. You got to be specific about what it is that what you need. Okay. It's point blank. It doesn't have to be frilly or anything like that. It's like, you know what? This is what I've got. This is my idea. This is what I see that I need. Show me the way, open the doorway for it, and help me to see it. And then when I see it, help me to put my hands on it. And when I put my hands on it, help me not to be afraid and pull back. All those things. You know yourself. I don't have to tell you about you. All right, Six of Cups. Six of Cups is in reverse. This is I call this, it's like the allure, the thing that lures you toward what it is that you think you want, but then it bites your hand. You have to be mindful. You have to be careful about this. So it looks like joy. It acts like joy. It feels like joy, but is it, you got to be mindful. You have to be mindful. Sometimes the things that entice us, you have to know about the things that entice you. If you're going to be a spiritual warrior out here, you have to know about the things that entice you. And you have to know what to do about that. Now, nobody is telling you to be repressed, suppressed, and oppressed. Nobody's talking about that. And I know I can't talk to Aquarius about that. Because that's the last thing Aquarius wants. So I'm not talking about that, Aquarius. But what I'm saying is you've got to look at, you got to look at where you're putting your hands. You got to look at where you're putting your feet. You got to look at where you're putting your body. Where are you? Again, we talked about that sanctuary. All right. And people taking up space in your sanctuary. Some of that comes from, hold on, let me get my life. Okay, I think we're on. Okay, good. So yeah, I was talking about that allure, the things that lure you toward it because it's pleasing, it's sexy, it's enticing. You still have to have your wits about you though. Especially then, because everything is about balance. So that which would, really fire you up, you have to also get somewhere in the middle of that and look at all aspects of the situation. Could also be all work and no play for some of you. Make somebody a dull, you know what. Now, that's for you to balance out once again. So you got to know yourself. You can't be, you can't just be flying out here willy-nilly. Not in this day and time, you can't. You've got to really know yourself, because they're coming from all angles, all sides. They're coming in all forms, all shapes. You have to be ready. And it's especially true of the things that lure us in. All right, so we've got Four of Wands here, which represents completion according to this deck. But what I see is a bridge. I see a bridge between hot and cold. I see a bridge between yin and yang. I see a bridge between masculine and feminine. The main thing is that there is a bridge between where you are and the next place. And that's what's coming up here in relationship to this crossroads in your idea or your concept. So this is really interesting here. I'm interested to know, what is the idea? What is the concept? I'm interested to see where this shows up for you. I'm also interested in seeing how things come together for you. So fill me in. Let me know what's going on with you out there. Let's see what else is going on. What else is going on for Aquarius? They're telling me there's something that they want me to see in the card, so hold on. Okay. All right. So for some of you, this has to do with a relationship. It has to do with how you view the relationship and your parameters. This does have to deal with sex, sexuality, sensuality, how you get it, how your partner likes it. There is a way that you are conceiving of how this relationship can work. It needs to be communicated. It needs to be communicated. It's really got to be a nuts and bolts conversation for some of you. It's got to be a very basic conversation. This is what I like. This is what I want. This is what I'm interested in doing. And then let the other person say what they like, what they want. And it may take a little bit to get to that point, because it is such a touchy subject for a lot of people. Sex and sexuality, people don't like talking about it because they're afraid of what they might say. To be honest with you, they're probably afraid of what they might say. Some places for people, they want to keep it secret, or they want to keep it, to themselves. But when you're in a relationship with somebody, then you're going to have to be willing to talk about it. Okay. And that's at a very basic level, all the way up to the advanced level. I don't care if you got to talk about sex, whether you're having a one-night stand or whether you've had, whether you're in a 40-year relationship, you still have to have the conversation. So I'm getting that this is what it is. If there's an idea, there's a concept that you're dealing with, some of you are dealing with, and you're trying to bring that together with your partner. And so you just got to find a bridge point, and the bridge point is the part that you both like. The bridge is the part that you both like. Draw a Venn diagram. This is what I like, and this is what you like. And then what are the things that we like together? And then you can start to discuss what's outside of the circle a little differently. But start with what's good. You know what I mean? All right. Let's see what's happening here. Oh, what's going on, Aquarius? Some of you are going through it here. What's going on? Okay, so this is what I'm seeing. It is in reverse. I hope that it is meaning that it's over, but I just need the spirits to please explain to me what's going on here with this Nine of Swords. What's going on here with this Nine of Swords? Yeah, I think maybe it's something. I don't like that part, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. So we've got the Nine of Swords here. I'm seeing a bleeding heart. I'm seeing a dark cloud. I'm seeing somebody really in anguish over something. If we're talking about swords, we are talking about things that maybe you're wrestling with in your mind. Could be you or a partner or somebody, since we're talking about partnerships here. I'm trying to see if for some of you this may be something different. Other than just being aware of yourself and aware of what those things that entice you. For some of you, it's about that. But then we've got this Princess of Cups also in reverse. Now, cups are about feelings and emotions, of course. And we have this, beautiful woman on one side. We have a black swan on the other side, which to me gives a lot of, there's like sort of a mixed review of how somebody may feel about that. I feel like what one person sees as a thing of beauty, somebody else sees as not. I feel like some of this is about how it could be about how one views the body. It could be about how one views themselves. It feels like it's about sensual. Again, this goes back to sensuality and being a sensual being. I don't know if somebody has said something negative to you about that, Aquarius, or somebody has put some negative thought patterns in your head about that. It could be that. But it hasn't allowed you to blossom. That's what I'm seeing here. It hasn't allowed you to fully blossom, or it hasn't allowed the relationship to fully blossom. That's what this is. Maybe that's the work. Maybe that's the concept or the idea that has to be pushed up the hill. Let's see. Please clarify the bulk of this reading. Please clarify. Clarify a message here. Yeah. So this is the way for some of you to get past sorrow, difficulty, trouble. There's a lot of sorrow here. There's a lot of like negative statements, either about who you are, or you need to be mindful of negative statements about who you are and what you like and what you enjoy. That's what this is. What you like and what you would enjoy. What you find to be pleasing, what gives you joy. For some of you, it could be a hobby or something else that you really enjoy, but it feels like somebody else is saying something about it negative. Like every time you go to do this thing, somebody else has something really